Buyers decide how they feel about your home in the first 60 seconds. Not after the tour, not after the price discussion, not after they measure the bedrooms. The first 60 seconds. And most sellers completely miss what buyers are actually noticing. Today, I want to walk you through what buyers are silently evaluating the moment they pull up, what they notice when they walk through the door, and why those first impressions often determine whether you get an offer or you get forgotten. Let's start outside. Before buyers ever step into your home, they're forming a story. They notice the driveway. They notice the yard. They notice whether the front door feels inviting or neglected. They notice landscaping. They notice peeling paint. They notice clutter on the porch. They're asking one silent question. If this is how the outside looks, what does the inside look like? Curb appeal is not about perfection. It's about care. Buyers are looking for signs of maintenance, fresh mulch, trimmed bushes, a clean walkway, a freshly painted front door. These small signals create trust. Now let's talk about the moment they step inside. Light. The first thing buyers react to is light. Is it bright or dark? Open or closed in? Warm or harsh? You may have lived in your home for years and feel completely comfortable with the lighting. Buyers don't have that context. If it feels dim, they immediately assume something is smaller than it is. Next is smell. This one is uncomfortable, but important. Buyers notice scent instantly. Pets, cooking, dampness, heavy air fresheners. Even a strong candle can create suspicion. If a buyer smells something unusual, they don't ask what it is. They wonder what it's hiding. Then comes space. Buyers notice how rooms flow together. They notice furniture placement. They notice whether they can walk easily from one room to the next. If furniture blocks pathways or rooms feel crowded, they mentally shrink the square footage. Here's what most sellers miss. Buyers don't measure square footage with a tape measure. They measure it emotionally. If it feels tight, it is tight in their mind. Now let's talk about sound. Does the house echo in a cold way? Does the HVAC rattle loudly? Do floors creak excessively? Does the front door stick? These tiny details matter more in the first minute than sellers realize. Buyers are scanning for friction. Anything that feels off becomes a mental note. And then there's temperature. If the home feels too hot or too cold, buyers immediately question the HVAC system. Comfort is part of confidence. If they are uncomfortable, they don't linger. Here's the deeper psychology at play. Buyers decide emotionally first and logically second. That first 60 seconds determines whether they relax or stay guarded. If they relax, they imagine living there. If they stay guarded, they look for flaws. And once buyers enter flaw finding mode, everything gets magnified. They notice scuffed baseboards. They notice outdated fixtures, small cracks. They notice every imperfection. But if they feel good in the first 60 seconds, those same imperfections feel manageable. Now let's talk about the kitchen and main living areas. Buyers walk straight to these spaces. They look at countertops. They look at cabinet condition. They look at appliances. More importantly, they look at how the space feels. Is it clean? Is it clear? Is it neutral? If this is helpful so far and you want more no-fluff tips on selling smarter in Richmond, hit subscribe right now. I post new videos every week designed to save sellers time, money, and stress. Clutter is one of the biggest things sellers overlook. Countertops covered in small appliances, personal items, and papers that make the space feel busy. Buyers are not just seeing your stuff. They're imagining their stuff. And if there's no visual space for their life, they struggle to connect. But bathrooms matter too. Buyers notice grout. They notice caulking. They notice water spots. These are not expensive fixes, but they signal care. Here's something else sellers miss: personalization. Family photos, bold paint colors, highly specific decor. These make a house feel loved, but they also make it harder for buyers to see themselves there. Neutral does not mean boring. It means accessible. Now let's address something subtle. Buyers notice tension. If the seller is present and hovering, buyers don't relax. If the home feels staged but stiff, buyers don't connect. If showings feel rushed or uncomfortable, buyers move quickly. Comfort creates imagination. Imagination creates offers. Here's another factor sellers overlook: cleanliness is not the same as presentation. A clean house can still feel crowded. A tiny house can still feel heavy. Strategic presentation removes visual noise so buyers focus on the home, not the contents. Here's the key point: you don't get a second first impression. If buyers walk in and feel uncertain, they don't usually circle back emotionally. Even if the home is objectively good, that first reaction lingers. And this is why the first 60 seconds are so powerful. They determine whether buyers picture their future or compare your home to the next option. Now let's talk about how to get it right. Start outside, freshen the entry, clean the door, add simple landscaping touches. Make the approach feel welcoming. Inside, maximize light, open blinds, replace dim bulbs, use consistent lighting temperature, remove excess furniture, clear pathways, simplify decor. Deep clean your kitchens and bathrooms. Pay attention to small details like grout and hardware. Control the scent. Neutral and fresh always wins. And create comfort. Temperature should feel balanced. Music, if used, should be subtle. The home should feel calm, not staged for a performance. And here's the mindset shift. Stop asking, is my house clean? Start asking, how does my house feel in the first 60 seconds? That's the difference between preparation and positioning. Buyers don't write offers because a house checks boxes. They write offers because it feels right. If this is helpful and you want more practical insight on how buyers think in the Richmond market, make sure you subscribe so you continue getting guidance like this. Now let's recap. Buyers decide emotionally in the first 60 seconds. They notice curb appeal before they notice price. They react to light, smell, space, and sound immediately. Clutter shrinks rooms. Personalization limits connection. Comfort increases imagination. The first impression shapes everything that follows. In the comments, tell me, what do you think buyers notice first when they walk into a home? Light, layout, smell, or something else you've experienced? Because the better you understand what buyers notice, the better you can position your home to win.